Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking a look at an adapter to adapt Canon EF lenses to my Panasonic Lumix GH4. What we're talking about today is the Viltrox EF to micro 4/3. I can't say speed booster because that's, I expect, copyrighted by Metabones, but micro 4/3 adapter basically, but it's got a lens in it that creates an 0.71 times focal length magnifier or focal length reducer. I prefer to call it a focal length reducer. And you know what, trying to find information on the internet as to what the hell 0.71 times is and what it does was really hard work, and I'm going to quickly go through what I've discovered now, what this does. But that's the actual Viltrox adapter, and it's really good. And it's got, as you say, it's got an optics in the middle of it, which is quite unusual because other adapters, I've got loads of different adapters. I don't know where we all are now. Are they anything here? I've got another Viltrox one here that adapts Canon EF glass to my Fuji camera, and this one isn't a focal reducer. It literally is just an adapter. You can see, not look at the shirts of the right camera, you can see it's got a hole, so I feel like a magician. It's got a hole, so there is no glass element in that one, but I'm going to do a review on that one separately. Now, I bought this adapter because I used to have, but I don't have very much micro 4/3 glass. I've got the Panasonic 25mm f1.4, which is what I'm filming this shot here with. Lovely, lovely lens, really happy with that lens. I've got one or two other lenses, but I've predominantly got either Sony lenses or Canon lenses. Now, I wanted to adapt my Sony E-mount lenses. I can't do that because the flange distance is the same. Because micro 4/3 is a mirrorless body, the sensor is closer to where the lens mounts than what it is on a DSLR because of a mirror body. So the sensor's behind the mirror effectively, and that's what these adapters do. I keep going up there, but that's what these adapters do. It creates that extended flange distance so you get infinity focus. Otherwise you wouldn't have infinity focus. So that's why I can't find an adapter to adapt Sony E-mount, because it's already a mirrorless format. And so this adapter here does two things. A, it adapts the Canon EF glass, which we have here. Well, this is one of my lenses. This is the Canon would call it the kit lens, the 24-105 EF mount, f3.5 to 5.6, I think, kit lens, image stabilized. So you just match up the red dots, nice and easy peasy. There we go. That's now matched up. So I've now got the adapter on the lens. That's straightforward enough. And then all you then do is mount this onto the camera body, which obviously I can't do because I'm filming with it. I will do actually another shot in just a moment with this on it, so you can actually see, you know, how it's working. And it seems to work really, really well. The weather's been really lousy, so I've not been able to get outdoors to take many photographs, but I will take some. And in the description below, there'll be a link to my Flickr page where you can actually take a look at what the images are like taken with a Canon EF lens on my Panasonic GH4, and I'm loving the GH4. The autofocus isn't great. Well, it's actually much better than it was, but I'm using manual focus using my iPad, so I'm not worried about autofocus. Also, I won't get that sort of shimmering effect in the background. So that's now mounted to that, and it does two things to the lens itself. It's a focal reducer. So it reduces the 24-105 to, well, this is where the maths comes in. This is the bit I struggled with to find information on what the actual maths are. But basically, you take your 24mm, you times it by 0.75, which reduces it from 24mm, and that brings it down to 17. So you end up with a 17 and the 105 becomes 75. So in full frame terms, that would be a 17 to 75. But it isn't a 17 to 75 because you're putting it on a micro four thirds body. So you've got to then times that by 2. So it becomes a 35 to 150. So this 24 to 105 on the Panasonic GH5 and any micro four thirds body becomes a 35 to, what did I just say? 35 to 75. No, 35 to 150. No, it can't be right. 24 to 105 can't be one. Yes, it is, because you double it. Gosh, this is where the maths is a nightmare. So it is a 17 to 75 becomes a 35 to 150 instead of 48 to 210. If you didn't have the adapter, if you didn't have to adapt it, but you do have to adapt it. Now, also this focal reducer has another effect on the exposure, because you get an extra, well, you kind of get an extra stop of light. So if you're shooting at, say, f2.8, that would become down to about 1.4, something like that. But then you've got to take into account it's being put on a micro four thirds body, so you have to double that as well, you know. But the camera will show it as an f1.4 lens, because that's what it thinks it is, if that makes sense. I know it's difficult to make sense, but you have to get into the maths to work it all out. So as I say, there will be images on display on my Flickr page. Now, so that's basically what it does, you know. I've tried to keep that as short as I can, and I probably haven't explained it as well as maybe I could have done. But then I'm not particularly good at maths. So again, just to quickly recap, if you've got a 24 to 105mm lens, 24 becomes 17 to 75 because of the 0.75 magnification, which is actually a reduction. But then you have to times that by 2 to become a 35 to 150. So, and then with the aperture, it's basically, if you're shooting at f4, that would then become something like f2.8. You gain 1 stop. So it's very, very nifty. It's actually really well made. I was quite surprised how well made it is. I don't know how good the optics are, but judging by some of the pictures I have taken, that isn't that many. It's pretty damn good. I know Metabones is basically the brand leader, but that was like 3 times the price of this. In the UK, I got this for 150 quid, and that was a tremendous price. I was happy with that, you know. I will put a link in the description below to my Amazon affiliate page. So if it's something you're interested in, you'll be able to order it via Amazon. I earn a few pennies, but it don't cost you any more. And if you do find it isn't any good, well, Amazon have got a really good returns policy, so you just send it back. But that's basically the adapter, say, with glass in the middle. Now it has got this aperture adjustment on the side here, and I'm not quite sure what that does, because I have found when I mount it for the first time, it doesn't always work. I've got to fiddle with this little sprocket thing here to get the flipping thing to work. But once you've done that, it seems to work fine after that. So you know, that's about that. It's got a fixed tripod mount. It's not you can't remove it, so it's a fixed tripod mount on the adapter. That's fine and dandy. I've not had to use it because I haven't put really heavy lenses on it, but it's ideal if you have got heavy lenses. You can just mount it straight to the adapter, and that's effectively it. So you can put any Canon EF glass on here, you know, EF being the Canon's full frame glass. I don't think it takes the EFS. There doesn't seem to be a marking for EFS, you know, the APS-C glass on here, but that's basically, you know, as I said earlier, that's basically it. And because of the flange distance between a DSLR body and our lenses for a DSLR body, this adapter basically is taking into account the mirror box. So that's creating the extended flange distance. And you know, that's great. So there we go. Now what I'm going to do is actually put it on me GH5 just for a quick video test. I know I do get criticised by people saying we want to see more of what the quality of it is like. And it's difficult to do that when I'm actually showing you the item. So what I'll do now, as I say, we'll cut this and then we'll cut to what this is like actually on the camera. I'm now filming this on my GH5 with the Canon EF 24-105 lens using the Viltrox adapter, which has got the focal length magnifier, focal length, what do they call it? Focal length multiplier. So it's now, you know, a completely different aspect ratios of 24-105, as I discussed in the first half of this video. I've had to set the lens to autofocus. I did try manual focus, but these flipping apps do my head in. The Panasonic app is great because you can adjust so many parameters, but sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. And I haven't moved it off my desk, and all I'm getting now is these stupid error messages that say, you know, oh, it connected to it fine, and then it just loses a connection. It really does annoy me. And that was one of the reasons why I actually stopped using my GH5 months ago, because it was just so unreliable. I'm just hoping now the autofocus, even with this adapter, is actually quite a good test, to be honest, because I'm testing to see not only the adapter, but how good is the autofocus? Is it hunting in the background? So, you know, and new viewers will be the first to see it the same as me. I've had to increase the ISO a wee bit because obviously I was shooting at f1.4 with me proper Panasonic lens, this lens here, that was shooting you know, at its widest at f1.4. This is now shooting at its widest, but it isn't 1.4. It would have been 3.5 minus 1 stop times by 2. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but whatever that is what I'm shooting at now. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this review of the Viltrox speed reducer magnifier adapter thing, EF to micro 4/3 adapter, that's what we'll call it, and it's the Mark II version. So thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you find my content useful. I enjoy making these videos, even when I do get it really complex and things tend to go pear-shaped, but it's mainly technology that goes pear-shaped, such as my Panasonic app here. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found this useful. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. The subscribers are really helping me grow the channel. Really, it's great. I love it. And the comments I'm getting are really favourable, and I'm very happy with that as well, obviously. And keep leaving comments. It really does. I find them really interesting to read. I do reply to as many as I can, but I'm not the best at replying, so forgive me for that. And please hit the like button if you found this video useful. As I say, this adapter is a lot cheaper than the Metabones one, and even if it's only half as good, particularly if you're using manual focus. If you're behind the camera, there's no problem using manual focus. You're not reliant on these apps that don't work. Where with me, you see, I'm reliant on autofocus because there's only me here. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos relating to video and photography. Cheers for now. Bye.